Hello, welcome to the last part of this Worldview Connections series on the origin of religion in the major series part of the philosophy of religion. We're continuing on from primitive religions, looking at where these religious ideas we have today, maybe they came from these religions. Are there remnants that we see here in today's ideas? For example, the ancient religions featured sacrifices of animals and humans, and people wonder, did gods command this? The Aztecs, the Mayan, the other people in Mesoamerica, they practiced sacrifice as many ancient other throughout ancient Africa and Europe, etc., did. Um, the Hinduism, which is the oldest religion still existing today, obviously there's a theological evolution because they don't practice it openly and out in public, the human sacrifice, due to laws that prohibit this. But we hear of this happening in early Hinduism. There were priestesses offered as sacrifices, and there's that deep underlying doctrine about what is death and the mystery of death. We've kind of touched on some of these ideas in other videos on the philosophy of religion. Um, so, Christianity teaches that Jesus was the last and eternal sacrifice, and all sacrifices before that day were symbolic of God's atonement, those sacrifices offered in Israel, according to the Bible. But if you take a general idea that he is the what the Bible calls the Lamb of God, the ultimate sacrifice for sins, so that we can be forgiven and be able to be in God's presence again, but many still wonder, why must any blood sacrifice be necessary? Is Christianity simply carrying over remnants of ancient religions, ideas? There are also common themes. The Eternal Mother. Did Christianity simply take these ancient Egyptian theology and mythology and put it onto Mary and Jesus, what was once the Pharaoh, the gods, through eternity? Is this what all religions do? Is it simply recycling ideas in different ways? But Dr. Jordan Peterson argues, as I've mentioned in other videos, um, the psychological significance of the Bible and the themes we learn about there, that you will gain an appreciation for the wisdom and this principle of sacrifice, for example, that you see in the Bible, Abraham and Isaac. Dr. Peterson goes through Genesis and looks at this still means something to us today. That, for example, you sacrifice for your infinite possibilities, your past, present, and future. Say, for example, you save some money today so you can retire tomorrow. So that principle of sacrifice and responsibility, they are relevant. And he argues that they are treasures of wisdom that we see in these sacred texts of all religions and ancient cultures that he beautifully, I say, gets into some of those ideas. And again, going back to The Righteous Mind by Dr. Haidt, and he has some other books and works that go into this, but he does challenge the thinking about religion in a way that for believers and non-believers, I think it's good to take account of what he's saying, to also saying value in the ancient wisdom of humanity, sacred texts, and faiths. Again, not on a literal level that we're going to sacrifice animals and humans, but the concept of many of these principles of morality. And so the atheists, the cynics, the skeptics, and critics of religion, uh, Dr. Peterson, Dr. Haidt, and others I could bring up, but they feel that this has become oversimplified, unfair, and disrespectful towards ideas that are actually very valuable for our society that we're losing. That is, and in fact, they show that religion is leading to healthy communities and people that are involved in and having families and happier, more fulfilling lives and meaning in life, and not just this. You see this the history of religion cartoon comic on the side, that they feel it's throwing the baby out with the bathwater. That there is something there that is meaningful. Um, Dr. Hyde is an agnostic. He's not promoting any specific religion, but they are promoting the value of ancient wisdom of our ancestors, of early humans. So this has been our closing our series on the origin of religions and seeing that there is value in the past. And I'll show you our resources here: the Lion Man from Wikipedia, and the Timeline of Religion, and the Gobekli Tepe. So thank you for listening today. Please share with your friends.